Hello and welcome back to the Lessons of A Course in Miracles. I'm Sherry. I'm your guide through this, and today we're on lesson number 69, My Grievances Hide the Light of the World in Me. And before I get started on this, I just want to let you guys know I am definitely going through something right now in terms of like my spiritual growth and consciousness expansion. And I'm kind of in a weird place. So this morning I pulled out my candle that I just bought in Sedona, got my dad here hanging out, and I pulled up this crystal that I actually just bought in Sedona. So it's not like I'm a really well-read crystal person, but this one just feels super, super helpful for me, and it's called Lepidolite, the Stone of Transition, which is why I bought it when I was in Sedona. And a couple things that it's helping with: it assists in overcoming addictions and obsessive thoughts. It can help relieve menopausal symptoms. It helps clear electromagnetic pollution. It aids in mental focus. So I feel like all of those things are really helpful when you're going through a transition. So here I am leaning on these things. I'm also leaning on my friends, members of this community, my guides and teachers, nature, everything, because I feel like I'm going through this transition in a way that I have never done before. I spent 20 years in the Army basically not feeling into my innate, and I was just following orders and doing what I was told and going where I was told to go. And now I have this opportunity to choose a place where I want to live. And it is like the worst day of my life every day. Like, I don't know, where am I going? What am I doing? I don't even know what I like. I don't even know what desires I have. It's a very confronting place. And talking to a friend last night, it's almost like I joined the Army at age 22, and so I stopped having like an emotional education in terms of my own innate at that age. So now that I'm done with the Army, I'm actually 43, but it's kind of like being in my 20s emotionally. And it's almost embarrassing, you know, and so I beat myself up about that, but I'm working on being in acceptance. And anyway, so today's lesson is just another one to help me so much to remind myself of who I truly am and my goal to connect back in with that energy and not this little ego shitty mind that seems to be taking over. All right, so lesson number 69. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. No one can look upon what your grievances conceal, because your grievances are hiding the light of the world in you. Everyone stands in darkness, and you beside him. But as the veil of your grievances is lifted, you are released with him. Share your salvation now with him who stood beside you when you were in hell. He is your brother in the light of the world that saves you both. Today, let us make another real attempt to reach the light in you. Before we undertake this in our extended practice period, let us devote several minutes to thinking about what we are trying to do. We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. We are trying to see past the veil of darkness that keeps it concealed. We are trying to let the veil be lifted and to see the tears of God's Son disappear in the sunlight. Let us begin our longer practice period today with the full realization that this is so, and with real determination to reach what is dearer to us than all else. Salvation is our only need. There is no other purpose here, and no other function to fulfill. Learning salvation is our only goal. Let us end the ancient search today by finding the light in us and holding it up for everyone who searches with us to look upon and rejoice. Very quietly now, with your eyes closed, try to let go of all the content that generally occupies your consciousness. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by a layer of heavy, dark clouds. You can see only the clouds because you seem to be standing outside the circle and quite apart from it. From where you stand, you can see no reason to believe there is a brilliant light hidden by the clouds. The clouds seem to be the only reality. They seem to be all there is to see. Therefore, you do not attempt to go through them and past them, which is the only way in which you would really be convinced of their lack of substance. We will make this attempt today. After you have thought about the importance of what you are trying to do for yourself and the world, try to settle down in perfect stillness, remembering only how much you want to reach the light in you today, now. Determined to go past the clouds. Reach out and touch them with your hand. Brush them aside with your hand. Feel them resting on your cheeks and forehead and eyelids as you go through them. Go on. Clouds cannot stop you. If you are doing the exercises properly, you will begin to feel a sense of being lifted up and carried ahead. Your little effort and small determination call on the power of the universe to help you, and God Himself will raise you from the darkness into light. You are in accord with His will. You cannot fail because your will is His. Have confidence in your Father today, and be certain that He has heard you and answered you. You may not recognize His answer yet, but you can indeed be sure it is given you and that you will yet receive it. Try, as you attempt to go through the clouds to the light, to hold this confidence in your mind. Try to remember that you are at last joining your will to God's. Try to keep the thought clearly in your mind that what you undertake with God must succeed. Then let the power of God work in you and through you, and His will and yours be done. In the shorter practice periods, which you will want to do as often as possible in view of the importance of today's idea to you and your happiness, remind yourself that your grievances are hiding the light of the world from your awareness. Remind yourself also that you are not searching for it alone, and that you do know where to look for it. Say then, "My grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden. Yet I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world." Also be sure to tell yourself, "If I hold this grievance, the light of the world will be hidden from me," if you are tempted to hold anything against anyone today. Wow. So there's a lot there. Your grievances hide the light of the world in you. Yeah, that is like having these clouds surrounding you, and not only can you not see out of the clouds, but other people, seemingly others in the world, can't see your light. And so this idea that you're the salvation of the world, if you hold on to these grievances against yourself and others, you can't do your work here. So it's really important to focus on this lesson today as your way of getting past this and really becoming more effective as a savior. All right, so let's see what Jesus has to say. Lesson 69, "My grievances hide the light of the world in me." You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. All of you have had the experience of holding a grievance, where it goes around and around in your mind, and everything, the beautiful sunny day, the wonderful flowers along the path you walk, the health of your body, friendships, fades into the background. This happens when a grievance works its way around your consciousness. You literally see the world disappear from view as you become obsessed with that fight in your mind. Now, for those of you who are partially trained and getting along in the lessons now, you've done some mind training. You have become more annoyed by your grievances than those who have not had any mind training. This is an important thing for you to understand because it is very disturbing to have a grievance in the mind. It upsets your peace. If you have accessed little pieces of peace as a student of A Course in Miracles, when you now lose it, your peace that is, you feel awful because you have a new contrast revealed to you. When your mind was occupied with grievances all the time and hateful thoughts about yourself and the world and the politicians and the environment, and you just went at it without any mind training, You had a constant level of infection with grievances in your mind, and no contrast existed there. Once you come to a place of peace, even temporarily, as the periods of peace become longer and longer, that disruption of your peace becomes intolerable now. And that's the truth. Amen to that. This is a gift. We do not want you to think you have failed. We do not want you to think of yourself as a bad student of A Course in Miracles. Oh no. You merely see where you used to be all the time and why you started the lessons of A Course in Miracles. Remember, you were not at peace. You were not happy with your experience on earth, so you decided to learn something new to see what you didn't know about yourself. As your peace increases, the grievances you hold in your mind become clearly revealed as the disruptive influence they are. You have to work hard and fast with your forgiveness practice to get back to peace. That is the wonderful news of doing A Course in Miracles lessons, because what does this do? This makes peace more prolonged and more easily accessible. When you encounter a grievance, you see the tremendous contrast in your frequency if you plummet down into that grievance. You feel awful and say, "For heaven's sake, please bring me back up to where I was. This grievance is not worth it. It is not worth the awful way I feel, and the ongoing argument in my head is intolerable. I really, really want peace." That is the beautiful place to be, dear ones. Do not chastise yourself for experiencing the contrast, for the contrast of falling back into the ego's world shows you it is not what you want. All you have to do is go back to your lessons, employ them in your thinking process, and peace returns to you. It is scientific in that way. If you follow and apply the lessons, you will not plummet down into the ego's world and its low frequency. You will remain in the frequency of love. As you go through these lessons, there will be many days when you experience a grievance, and that is the work. That is the hard part. That hard part is feeling the contrast, but the easy part is the peace. So choose peace. It is your natural inheritance. You are meant to be happy and at peace. The ego's world is a battleground, and it is not much fun. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. Okay, there you have it. Lesson number 69. Don't let your grievances hide your light from the world. Here's your morning vibes. Cheers. I hope you all have a great day today, and that you're benefiting from these lessons and this sharing that we're doing. And I really feel like this community, there's like a synergy here, and all of us are learning and sort of not mistakenly coming to this every day together. So grab all the goodness from it that you can, enjoy your life, and find your peace today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.